Good evening, and thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I present a semiotic interpretation of the Bartók piano sonata. The reason why the lights are 3/4 is that for those of you who are students in attempt to try to get a little bit of extra knowledge with me, it gives you an opportunity to take notes. So, semiotics. Let me explain. Semiotics is the study of signs as perceived by various cultures. In performance, we seek to relate the inner significance that the composer created by means of cultural allusions and his or her own unique compositional signs. In musical analysis, we employ linguistic semiotic concepts as a way of defining meaning in music. Semioticians, including Robert Hatton, Kofi Agawu, Raymond Minnell, and Hirotasi, employ various semiotic methodologies to render a unique perspective that exposes a connection between performance and analysis in classical music. This lecture extends those established methodologies to interpret semiotic meaning in the piano sonata by Bartók. To better understand the concepts I'm about to present, I would like to take this opportunity to actually define a few important terms. Number one, semiotics. As previously stated, semiotics is the study of signs interpreted through the eyes and ears of various cultures. In music, we look for cultural signifiers, known as sound images, that are determined via rhythms, pitch relationships, and form. For instance, a series of ascending perfect intervals might imply an ascension to heaven, because a long time ago, some monks determined that those perfect intervals would symbolize God. So that's just an example. Number two, markedness. Markedness is the opposition of two terms that create an imbalance of importance, an asymmetry that allows one term to have greater weight than the other. Robert Hatton uses the terms cow and bull as examples. Though cow would be unmarked due to its generality, bull would be considered marked because it specifically refers to the male cow. It refers to the gender. Due to the context, we can then imply that cow refers to a female cow. Number three, topic. An idea that originated from the theorist Leonard Ratner. A topic is a multi-layered musical association from a particular kind of music, like a fanfare or a march, or the learned style, and is employed in part of a more significant work. Number four, trope. A trope occurs when two different topics come together to form a unique idea. Now, I happen to love the example my colleague David Mosher uses to describe tropes. He says, there's the color red, and there's the color blue. And when you combine them, you get the color purple. And that purple is what represents the trope. It is a unique color based off of two other unique colors. In summarized academic terms, Hatton describes a trope as figurative meaning in music. I like David's interpretation better. Number five, verbuncoch. Verbuncoch is the popular music of Hungary for instruments during the 19th century. This type of music influenced a generation of composers. In fact, it even influenced Brahms and Liszt, as well as contributed to the nation's sense of identity. Used by the Hungarian government to recruit for their armies, gypsies usually performed verbuncoch music because it was deemed unfit for the upper middle class gentlemen to perform music that was clearly of the gypsy class. But the great irony of the whole thing is that it was those very same upper class gentlemen who were actually composing the very same melodies that the gypsies were performing. You figured. So, actually, for these upper class gentlemen, verbuncoch was verboten. Okay, it was a bad joke. Number six, Bulgarian rhythm. Bartók himself defines Bulgarian rhythm as that in which the quantities indicated in the irregular time signatures exceptionally short, and in which these very short, basic quantities are not evenly, that is to say, asymmetrically, grouped within larger quantities. Okay, let me give you an example. Popular example. 8/8 meter. 8/8 meter, but interpreted as a 3 plus 2 plus 3 grouping. So this rhythm can also be found in the music of Hungary, Romania, and Asia Minor, but it's because of the predominance in Bulgarian folk music that the name Bulgarian rhythm is actually substantiated. All right, now into the meat. Composed in 1926, the three-movement piano sonata stands as one of the most technically challenging sonatas in the piano repertoire. Let me assure you. During this time, Bela Bartók, who was greatly impressed by the ballets of Igor Stravinsky, needed repertoire that expressed his compositional abilities, in addition to his skills as a pianist. In the first movement, Bartók refers to a military march, while the second and third movements actually incorporate variations of the more lyrical pastoral trope. Essentially, Bartók's piano sonata represents a tropological example of the Hungarian cosmopolitanism that derives from the marked combination of verbonkos and peasant dances, which would be considered low style, with the learned style or high style. Thus, Bartók creates a uniquely nationalistic score that employs musical traditions without directly quoting from any particular piece or folk song.